I have memories of that first treatment, or the first doctor's appointment, having to have what's called a bone marrow biopsy. In this room, it was pretty much a storage room, and it was one of the worst tests I've ever had. That I don't believe is acceptable. I believe that we should have room where patients feel comfortable. I had to go and get a port put in for my chemo because the drugs are too strong to go through my veins. And in just going to get a port, I was put in a waiting room. Now the waiting room for this procedure is in the hallway. It's on the ground floor and it's in the hallway. You can't call it anything else. It's very, very apparent that we need more room. Getting chemo was my next step. I had a chemo called ABVD. It was a very hard chemo, and oftentimes I would wait quite a while in another very busy waiting room to go to treatment in either a chair or a bed. Oftentimes there would not be beds even if you're not feeling well, so you'd have to get treatment in a chair. These treatment facilities are very full. The staff are very overworked. If you ever want to see how busy they are, the Tuesday after a long weekend, when they have to double up on patients, is pretty much a miracle. I don't know how they do it. Unfortunately, my ABVD, the chemo, did not work, and I had to go on to have what is called an auto stem cell transplant. So I was fortunate enough that there was room in our facility. It's called Unit 57. It is on the top floor of the Tom Baker, I like to call it the penthouse suite of Tom Baker, where I lived. I was an inpatient for 2 months. I had to get a line. Sometimes I was allowed to go home if I was feeling well enough. Had to be constantly supervised, but when I came back, there was oftentimes I was put into rooms that were very, very small, waiting for another room in a facility that I was already accepted into. Oftentimes this would take more than 3 hours, up to 5. It's very unnerving to know that you have doctors that want to help you. You have something that needs to be treated, but you're not 100% sure if you'll have a place to be treated. I went through the stem cell transplant. It was one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. I wasn't able to see my daughter for almost a month, just very little contact, because it's an autoimmune disease, or treatment, and she had a common cold. So it created a lot of tension in our family, for myself, struggles that I had to overcome. And the facility of Unit 57 is exactly the way I'm sure it was the day that that building was built. I am personally scared. I have not, my cancer has returned. I'm not in remission. I am going through a treatment right now. I'm doing more chemo every 3 weeks for a year in hopes that I will get into remission. If this doesn't work, I will have to go back up to the stem cell transplant unit, and I'm really scared of having to do that. But what I'm more scared of is the fact that there may not be room. I'm scared for myself. I'm scared for anyone else in the coming years who may have this disease. I'm scared for my loved ones. This is a need, and it's a need now. It was a need 3 years ago when I was diagnosed, that I was very aware of, and it will be a need tomorrow and in the future. But I wish everyone well. Thank you.